Katie Haas, Utah Commerce Department Director of the Division of Consumer Protection, to share ways to keep safe. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about scams and also the campaign of Scam-A-Lot. Describe that in your department.
So we have been running for the last couple of years a campaign called Scam-A-Lot. You can find it at scams.utah.gov. And it's just an awareness campaign to make people think a little bit before they act. And so we've just launched we've had the Knights of Scam-A-Lot, and now we have a new Queen Trustworth. And she's there to help protect, particularly our senior citizens.
It's amazing how many people are out there falling for these scams, people who you might think they should know better. But I think when you want something so bad, you might overlook the red flags. What are some of those red flags?
Well, some of those well, let me back up for just a second and say lots of us are looking for friendships or companionships, particularly our senior citizens. And it's not always like a romance scam as much as it is just friendship. We have a loneliness epidemic right now. And so lots of people are looking for somebody to connect with. So if we think, oh, it's only about romance, then people don't think they're going to be susceptible to it. But if you think of it more broadly as we're looking for companionship or just friendship, because if you're sitting around all day and no one's talking to you and someone texts you, then it's very easy to strike up a conversation. And so I think we should think more broadly about it than just a romance, but do you get what I'm going at?
Yeah, so Katie, when you are looking at maybe yourself or someone, maybe your grandparents, your parents, what should you look out for? What are some signs that maybe they got trapped into a companionship email chain or something of that nature?
Yeah, and so I think the first thing I always warn people about is those red flags, right? So, and you just asked about those red flags. Some of them are things like, how did this conversation start? Was it via text? Was it a random email? Did I connect with them online on an online dating app? Whatever it is, we want to stop and think about how did the connection first start. Then from there, it's the types of things those people are asking you for. If they're asking you to pay for their trip to the United States to come see you finally, or if they're unwilling to ever really meet you in person, those types of things are the beginning of the red flags. And then if you are going to loan somebody money, how are they asking you to pay for it is also a red flag. If it's cryptocurrency, for example, versus maybe a credit card payment or something like that, you want to be really careful there.
Something else in the relationship to look out for is the love bombing. And again, this can be any type of a relationship, but the manipulation of moving too quick, too fast to an intimate conversation or connection.
Yeah, I mean, these scammers are getting more and more sophisticated with the use of AI. When you start a conversation with somebody, they're looking for those little nuggets that a few days later they can use to figure out your vulnerabilities, to figure out the things that you need to hear to feel more safe, more confident with them. They're very good at what they do. They're incredibly sophisticated. And so that love bombing, that this is the most important relationship I've ever had, I need to be with you all the time, the giving you lots of attention really early on are some of the flags as well.
And that's really hard when someone is vulnerable and looking for that companionship. So my concern, if I were looking at my elderly family, the brainwashing that happens, how can you connect with that person to say, wait, let's look outside of this potential scam and get them out of that situation?
Well, so I think we need to talk about it a lot. I think with our parents, we need to warn them or chat with them about it, and then say, I'm a safe place. If you're talking with somebody and you're excited about this person, I want to be the person that you come to talk about this. And how we react when someone has been a victim or somebody's under the ether, so to speak, involved in this scam, is how our reaction is critical. I've had my mother call me about a text scam, something different. But I freaked out. I was like, Mom, no, don't give them their credit card. And I was very animated.
Do that, right?
Wrong response, right? Because then my mother might not call me the next time. And so we need to check our emotions and be the stable, rational thinker, and then help them walk through some of those flags, some of those signs, so that they can see it and recognize that when they have to sever that relationship, it is going to be a loss for them.
Oh, that's such a compassionate point of view, and one I don't think we always keep in mind when a loved one is going through that. Where do we go to learn more?
So I'd invite you to scams.utah.gov, where you can learn more about all sorts of scams that are out there, unfortunately, today, but then how we can support our family members when they're under the spell of a scam, so to speak.
Great information. Send to your parents, send to your grandparents. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you to the Utah Department of Commerce for sponsoring this segment. We'll be right back.